if anything, I'm probably best placed as the caretaker, being tied to the wards.
Yeah.
Well, I would be the first to know if there was any. I would be alerted by the wards to any
which makes you
malign influence or corruption.
Makes you a better secondary person for this.
Yeah.
Remember, this is all about us splitting responsibility. Having you responsible for any early warning and also being the first corruptible person it's a big risk.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not anything personal. We saw what it did to Xander.
I don't think any of us are immune.
No.
We've already
Got to be sensible about it.
seen what's happened with Katea. I think it's absolutely crucial that we make sure that that book is separate to anything related to this Bastion. But the fact that, you know, when you've actually attuned yourself to the Bastion, that you had the book, maybe that in itself could attune whatever this thing is. I don't know.
Potentially. So
It's still concerning.
let's move it around.
Yeah.
Personally, my feeling is Ray should have it.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I
don't want to sell myself short here, but let's remind ourselves what happened the last time those violent harbingers turned up. You lot managed, and I didn't quite so well. I think you got you got a stronger mind for this, if I'm perfectly honest. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. But if you feel otherwise, happy to have a conversation about it, but that's where my mind is.
okay.
Sorry.
This is something of a burden, but if you're happy with the decision,
Uh-huh.
I prefer to shoulder the burden myself.
I think we're a party. We got to
And
share
you've
the load,
taken
man.
on a lot with being the caretaker for.
It's a temporary thing.
I think your focus needs to be on the wards.
From-
Your focus needs to
from
be
what
on
we've-
the
what
book.
From what we've heard from Quartermaster Kal, you never know.
I'll do whatever's needed of me, but
Yeah, I think we don't want you splitting your focus between maintaining the wards and keeping an eye on this book. I think it's too much for you. It's too much for anyone, rather. I think let's share the load fairly.
Before you give me the book, I have 2 keys.
Yeah.
I'm giving both keys to you.
Uh-huh.
You decide where they go.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a decision on how we're splitting the keys up.
okay. I
Book.
will hand the book over.
Hang on.
Martin, don't let me go! Don't let me go!
You do that thing of like
I don't wanna go
Bilbo
to
does
Rush,
in
it's
Fellowship. Do you do the face like? As you do. Oh, that scared the daylights out when I saw it the first time. Right.
So, you reach into your pack,
Yep.
bring out.
I shall hand it over. Take care. Keep it safe.
Thank you. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in my pack.
Yeah.
Still talking to you, it's going to go.
Oh,
Okay. So the 2 keys you've got.
I handed all the, before I got given the book, I handed them over to Damocles.
what was the date again? Sorry, Dean.
It's
It's the
35th
35th.
of Leonis.
Yeah.
Okay. No reason.
So Damocles, you have all 3 keys currently.
It's 3, is there?
Yep. And the key to the safe, which I'll be speaking to you about.
No, I've got the key to the safe.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you said you had 2 keys.
No, because it's the 3 keys to the books. So,
Yeah. So the 2 keys will be.
so instead of me having,
Dina just told you I'm dividing those. I'm not telling you.
no, don't
fine.
tell me.
Cool, there we are. Decision made.
The keeper of the keys never tells anybody else the division of the keys and where they are and who has them.
Yes.
Can I just check an answer on that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Right. After musical keys.
Musical keys, musical books, you've moved everything around.
Okay. The beautiful smelling food throughout the Bastion. Are you giving an account now of the acolytes
Yeah.
and what you've got here? So, there are nine acolytes. Tarry, the son of Commander Ozzy, who follows Seraphina. Very strong-headed, never backs down from an argument, believes he should be running the Bastion. Mm-hmm. Not because he's skilled, but because his father is the commander, and by station and rank he should have a similar position.
I had a feeling that was going to be the case, yeah.
Corin, Raphael, human male. He's come from Harbour to Swanton to carry out his teachings, and he's fallen in love with Swanton. Loves it, absolutely. Thinks it's the best place ever. He hated constant festivals. Felt it took away from the teachings of what the Bastion was about, the knowledge and the protection of Swanton.
I'm liking him so far.
He typically remains quiet unless there's something to be said. Yeah, and then he will speak out. Jarson, Ledwana, acolyte. You haven't met Jarson, he's been around the fringes. It looks like Jarson comes from nobility, but you're not too sure which noble house no one is, because apparently he did something he shouldn't have and he's been banished. He has pens. He's the oldest of all the acolytes, but he's still an acolyte, so he looks like he's just... he's sulky, he's grumpy, he keeps himself to himself, which is why he hasn't quite kind of come to prominence amongst all of you. He just keeps his head down, does what he has to do.
Okay.
And that's it. Ifera, Lucian acolyte, female human. This is the one, she's got extensive knowledge of the rituals of the Bastion. What should be done, how it should be done, very kindly. When it comes to things like even putting the wine out, she understands the rituals of Herve enough to put it out in the right way and the right facings and stuff like this. So her knowledge is incredible on the ritualistic side of the Bastion. You've got Jata, a Herve acolyte. He's the guy doing the food currently. He loves his food, loves the festivals. He's been slightly down, but now with you lot back and being given a chance to cook for everybody, he's back in his element again. Yeah, absolutely loves it. Tulfa, she's the one, doesn't want to be here. Loves Harbour. Harbour's the best. Harbour's always the best. Harbour does things better than Swanton. Harbour is better than Swanton in every way. And yeah, she gets on all the other acolytes' nerves with her constant, that's not how we do it in Harbour. Harbour does it better than this.
I can see that.
Yeah, and just wants to go back to Harbour. But she's been sent here to do her teachings.
She's probably alright with me then, because I could have played on that a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why she's kind of opened up. She likes you, and you almost get the feeling she's buddying up to you because hopefully you will be her ticket back to Harbour.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but yeah. I'm happy for her to believe that. That's fine.
Craw, dwarf male, Seraphina acolyte. He is one he's built for battle, but his voice is magnificent. He knows all the hymns and the music and the songs of the Five. And he loves nothing more than actually singing within the Bastion, of which, since the Bastion's been shut, he hasn't been able to do, and even during the festivals, he wasn't always given an opportunity to do it. And then finally, Laskin, human male, Lucia, acolyte, very serious. He's, from what you understand from all the other acolytes, he is the one who has been constantly saying, the Bastion's not fit for purpose, the Bastion needs to be improved, the Bastion, if we have danger arrive, Lucia's light won't shine because the Bastion's not in a place for her light to shine. And he's constantly going on about how the darkness is just on the fringes of civilization and will come in and kill us unless we're ready.
I like him. He sounds
Very serious and very kind of dogmatic.
Just in case it's useful to note,
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to make a choice on this one. I'm going to use my charlatan background just to have this in the bank. I'm going to have been paying attention to Corin particularly. I just want to... Basically, it gives me a greater boon on checks if I've spent 2 hours closely studying someone
You get
using
to
charisma
understand
skills.
the mannerisms and everything, yeah.
It's between him and Tally, but I'm like, I think Corin's my way in. I think he seems the most influential and the most committed to what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to bank that. I might not need to use it, but if that's all right, I can have
Absolutely.
spent the 2 hours.
Do you want to make a note you've studied Corin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so I can kill him.
No.
That's my other skill. I'm not doing it that way, just in case anyone's worried.
But what it does mean is, with your charlatan background, you could almost disguise yourself as Corin and get that boon by making yourself appear like him. It's those kind of mannerisms and stuff you've understood. So it's a very powerful charlatan ability where you study someone to learn how to exploit their personality or how to mimic them.
And you can use that in a friendly way.
Or,
Okay, good to know. So I'm a Corin expert now. Okay.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah. But of all of them, Corin is probably the most knowledgeable and dedicated, closely followed by Aethera.
Yeah, this is why he's my guy at the moment.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but Aethera seems more about ritual, whereas Corin is a generalised understanding of the Five, what the Bastion represents.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Thinking long term, if we had to even begin to promote anyone to more responsibility, I think he'd be my guy at the moment.
Yeah.
But I want to get a bit more.
But your gathering information was so good. Tarry is the one that's dangerous. Tarry believes he should be in charge because of his father.
Yeah.
And Tarry would, if spurned or passed over for promotion or acknowledgement of duty, Tarry could be the one that causes a lot of problems.
So that's why I was like, if I was thinking of having to use it, what's the word? Sort of offensively, I would have gone for Tarry, but I think I want to use it to bolster Corin's confidence if I need to do persuasion or something with him. Cool, okay, but that's we'll
But
have
at
to
the
remember
moment,
that later.
all acolytes are kind of considered equal.
Yes, but someday someone's going to need to step up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, maybe with this knowledge that you've managed to gather, what we could actually do is put a hierarchy in place so we can keep certain people's names from being out of joint.
Yeah.
By actually almost like helping create a little sort of mini hierarchy.
What if we could give Tarry a lot of responsibility? I mean, he's the Seraphina acolyte.
Yeah.
So if we put him in charge of
defences and stuff like that.
that, might be enough.
Yeah.
Which, as you saw, he jumped to that.
Yeah,
Being
we
told to look
started
after,
to-
get the Bastion back
Yeah,
out.
I think we started him on that path, and I think especially, I mean, you look at it, you look at what you're going to have to do. It's certainly not really something that someone who wants to follow Seraphina, they're not necessarily going to be the best place to be the caretaker, but they would be the best place in making sure that the Bastion is up to
And whilst it's
code sort of thing.
not unprecedented, inquisitors being caretakers is incredibly rare. In the same way a crusader being a caretaker.
Oh yes.
Well, I'll
It's
take
hardly
both your
rare.
opinions under advisement when I make my decision.
Okay.
I can
Right.
see you never leaving. Right? You're just going to get so comfy. The next thing you know is it's just going to be like, oh,
And once you finish discussing, the book's been changed, keys have been done, you're heading back out. You can hear laughter coming from the mess hall down here, sound of drinks being poured. But Tarry is kind of waiting in the middle, at the centre point, and seeing you, he stands tall. And just before we eat, I think there's a moment that the armoury can be inspected now.
ooh, that would be great.
He looks like he's absolutely knackered, been working quite hard. And as you go to the armoury, all the old stuff, the useless stuff, is all being kind of piled out in the corridor on one side, ready to be disposed of. All the new stuff has been put into the armoury, of which
Much better.
he draws your attention to some of the more unusual pieces they don't normally have in the armoury. So this isn't standard gear, but he's put to one side. There is a kind of note attached, wax sealed with the Quartermaster's seal, and he hasn't opened it. He's left that with you.
I'll grab the note and
Yep.
have a peruse.
Okay, having a look at the note, it's written, you assume by Quartermaster Kal. You've actually seen him writing, so albeit he was writing Tricipher at the time, so similar sort of script. On behalf of the mayor, to bolster the armoury of the Bastion, we have presented some gifts in thanks for what the caretaker has done for Swanton. These gifts may be used by you personally, as is your right as caretaker of the Bastion. So it's probably a way of circumventing certain things to get gifts and things. So,
Excellent.
what you've got here. Solid mithril wall. Huge. Massive. It's got the symbolism of... It looks like, I mean, looking at this, it looks like this was probably a gift to one of the mayors of Swanton at some point. Has been recently polished up. Looks fantastic.
It's a shame that I
Thanks,
can't
Kal.
use it. I wonder if they'll be affected if I sell it.
There is a belt with a load of kind of symbolism.
You take
of,
away his book, he gets so
of
tempted.
Madwana, and there are pouches and some sort of like little bandage areas and stuff like this. They all are empty at the moment, but there are runes sort of edged across the belt. So, just so you know, that's a healer's belt. Healer's belt, it can eventually get up to 8 charges, and then effectively you use a charge from the belt as though you're using it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a nice way of, reducing the cost of healing kits. There is a suit of, it's a sort of thickened, almost scaly hide, fell hide, studded leather armour. There is a cloak that has, you know when Xander used to put up the enchantment on your cloak? How
Sure.
your cloak went? It's similar to that.
Okay.
Okay, so a shadowed cloak. There is another suit of studded leather, but this one with kind of fiery runes across it. It's studded leather with fire resistance. And there is a mithril short spear alongside that as well. There is also, piled up in the one corner, 10 pounds of mithril, 10 pounds of fellhide, 10 pounds of ironwood, waiting to be used.
So you know how the armory didn't used to be locked?
Yeah, probably
It's
needs to be
gonna be
locked.
We're changing the policy on that, I think.
Yeah.
That's some valuable stuff. Oh wow. Okay. I'm liking that.
Right. And then you hear the gong, ding, 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 calling for food.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's go for that then. I'm just like still sort of fanning over the stuff. Okay.
And as you head down to the mess hall, there is a lot of laughter, and the acolytes seem to be, for the first time, feeling a little bit relaxed. You look beyond the mess hall to the one room, the door locked, and there's no sounds or anything coming from that room. That's where Kater is currently residing.
Likelihood is I'm going to ask Athera to go check on her. I've got the key at the minute.
Yeah, Athera is constantly, if you remember, you left her
Yeah.
by Katea's side. She spent most of the time there, every now and then popping out to do other stuff, but always returning there.
And make sure that Athera gets to spend time with the other acolytes and get to eat and everything. But when she does that, I will try and get an acolyte to swap out. I don't want to take the book too close to Katea. Right, so that's the reason I'm not going in.
Okay. But you will arrange for the
Yeah.
acolytes to kind of, that's fine. I take it you spend a pleasant meal.
Yeah.
And indeed, Jata's cooking lives up to its reputation. It is, whilst the simple fare tastes absolutely fantastic, the only thing it's missing,
Oh, no, don't say.
that's sprinkler salt.
Oh,
Got every
salt
time.
in the wounds.
I know.
No, yeah.
However,
We'll send your salt back home as well,
Yeah.
aren't we? Bang.
as you go into that evening, arrangements made to keep care of Katea in the meantime. Arrangements made. We go on to the 36th of Leonis, unless there is anything you want to do that night.
Just make friends, usual.
Yep. You spend time socialising with the acolytes.
Yeah, I'll spend a bit of time having a chat with Tarry as well.
Yeah.
And, I'm still keen to keep a close eye on him, but yeah. I'm going to try and butter him up a little bit over the next couple of days, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely heap some praise on him for getting that all sorted.
Yeah, I'm going to be in sort of like damage control on this guy, I think, and I'll do the social bit. You do the.
Yeah, you do the. Yeah.
I'll tell him how marvellous I think he could be at this, especially because his dad's such an impressive fighter. I'm like, I could really lean into that. I was like, he's impressive. I can see you've got promise. That kind of thing. That's what we'll be going with that.
And then I'm going to start focusing on getting those workshops at the moment.
Yeah. The workshops are just going to take time.
Yeah.
So, it's been a long day. A lot has happened. The one thing you don't have to worry about is the financing side of the Bastion.
No,
There's
because
gonna
they've
be
got
money
all of our
coming in
money.
and, yeah, effectively. So, your own personal funds are not required for the Bastion, and the Bastion funds are not. I mean, you could embezzle them if you wish, but in theory, they are not accessible.
I'm not a
by you.
criminal, that's right.
But the Bastion will keep ticking over.
Sure.
You've already made the one decision, which is the workshops, which are completely unusable. The focus is on getting the blacksmithing one up and running,
First,
and that
yeah.
will be in 8 days' time.
Cool.
Okay.
We're due to leave in 6, aren't we?
The 41st is when the caravan comes through from Midway and heads up towards harbour, and that was the one you were planning to take to get into harbour.
But we were planning to take that to get to harbour to get some answers for the book, and someone is now caretaker of the
I was going to say, are
Bastion.
we going to have to delay our journey?
Well, we could split,
What is it?
as in I could take the book to harbour, or we just delay it until we can all go. I'd prefer that.
I would prefer that. I don't want.
We focus on getting this Bastion up and running, and with what we've seen as well, and by the way, all of this in private,
Yeah, of course.
with what we've seen with the Harbinger, I think maybe we need to stay around here for a while.
I would love to get back to harbour, but I agree. I actually think we may have to. I think it would be.
Foolish?
Yeah, it wouldn't be responsible of us to leave at the earliest opportunity anymore. I don't know if you feel the same. Well, I don't know if you've got a choice now, actually.
I don't think you've got a choice, but
Not until I can find a replacement.
I can't leave these people knowing that there could be danger.
No, same.
Especially if that danger has been because we bought that book here.
If we are stuck here,
Yeah.
is it worth, on behalf of the Bastion, requesting that some more information be sent from harbour? Maybe we can, acquire a small
Yeah.
library on
Requisition.
ancestrals, or just generally information that may be useful, but include within that some tomes that actually could be relevant to what we're asking.
Yeah.
So we've found the workshop wanting, we found the armory wanting, we've also found the library wanting. So we need some more knowledge here.
We need more knowledge. I think as an extra precaution, it wouldn't be a bad idea if we request that knowledge in a careful way, because we know that there's an influential, or we suspect there's an influential person in Harbour who's looking for this thing. So I think I've got family there. We could get a message to them. What I'm basically going to is
procure books and that sort of stuff. If we were to offer a tender and give it to you.
My family's well connected enough, and I've got a means for communicating with them that nobody else can necessarily understand.
Perfect. So if we were to seek to stock a small library, but then get a message to your family about exactly what information we're after. Without
that information being interceptable.
Yeah.
Because if people know we're asking for this, then that could be a problem.
But then we could also be seeking more provisions and so on to restock various parts of the armour. There's no reason that we'd need to use the quartermasters here for that.
So what I'm driving at, I've got merchant family members. In fact, I've got connections to House Victus as well.
Brilliant.
My brother's well connected in the guard. What I'm driving at with this, I've got the cryptography ability. I would definitely have a cipher set up with my brother, because when I've worked with him in the past, I'd have been getting messages back and forth that I didn't want intercepted.
Yeah.
So if I could get a message to him specifically for him to do some work for us and send us some stuff back in the same obscured way.
Because if we're requesting the knowledge for the Bastion, then basically that information can be sent back with that knowledge. And it doesn't look suspicious. I like that.
I'll teach you the cipher in case anything happens to me in the meantime, by the way. Because if you get an encoded message back in 2 weeks, it's going to be useless to you. It won't even be 2 weeks with it, it'll be much longer. But I'll teach you that so that that's transferable. But basically, it's just a precaution, a safe way of doing it. But yeah, I can help with connections in Harbour.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm gutted not to be delivering the request in person. I think it's necessary.
Yeah. Of course, the one thing you can do as caretaker now is you can get a message to the main bastions in Harbour and request an expert of Raphael to come down. So, sending a bunch of books probably won't happen. Those books will be kept securely in Harbour. But sending a scholar to give you advice and to provide the information you need would be the way that the church would do. Absolutely. The priests would do.
Yeah, that'd be super.
And there's a couple of ways of you getting a message. You can send it with the caravan, or House Themis is responsible for the administration of the protectorates. It's one of the 5 houses, and they have a secured messaging service. So there will be a House Themis location here, outpost here, which basically you hire a fast rider. You give them the message. They have all the stuff to survive and stealth in the wilds to keep away from harm, and they belt it on a horse. Okay, and that's a lot quicker than most other ways.
And then the contents of the message could be the cipher as well, so it's
extra. Contents can be whatever you want. They put it into a secure lockbox that they don't access.
Cool. So it's just in case they do get intercepted, then, or there's bad people involved.
Well, we don't know who was after it in the beginning, do we? So
the way the secure messaging works is, depending on where you're going, that lockbox is brought out. Yeah. Message is put in, lockbox is locked. No one has the key
apart from
other than Harbour.
I like it. That's good.
And then Harbour will open it, and they will send back lockboxes that are open and not locked. The moment they're locked, they can't be unlocked until they get to their destination.
Okay, so we don't have to wait for the caravan for the message. That's great. Let's get on that.
It cost a bit more, but
that's fine. This is important. We need this sorted right
sharpish,
away. So I think we can still. I don't know. We can still put my family as a recipient on the other side if you're happy to, because I trust them, obviously. And then we'll try and coordinate things through them.
If we're asking them to send us a scholar, is it also worth asking if they have any candidates to take over as caretaker? To send them on the same trip?
Yeah, I mean...
I mean, you know...
At least then it's somebody external that can take over and can help elevate. Because if you put one of the acolytes, I don't know.
My concern
This is completely out of my...
If we had no other choice, the only one who's like suitable but probably still not is Corin, but that's going to create infighting between him and Tarry. So I think if we can get an external person, if we're still sticking around anyways...
It may also cause external political problems within, the various faiths if there is a candidate who's ready to step in elsewhere, who's being, groomed to be the next caretaker when a spot became available, then we should leave it to.
Oh yeah.
To those to make the choice rather than make it. I mean, we've been operating so far on a needs must basis, going from lurching from disaster to disaster and shouldering the burdens as we see fit. But
as best we can.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, let's do that then. We'll get him to coordinate some stuff the other side. So I'm giving them a bit of a list of stuff to do, aren't I? My guys, but yeah, they'll get it done.
In a few favours.
Oh yeah, they'll want to help me out.
So to give you an idea, if you send a message with the caravan, they typically charge 5 pennies a day. So it'll cost you 60 pennies to get a message to Harbour. Okay, nice and easy to go with the caravan. If you get a private message through House Thermos, it's 50 pennies per day with a fast rider. They can do it in 6 days to harbour rather than the usual 12. However, there is a risk that the message doesn't get there because the rider gets eaten or killed. No risk, or both. Yeah. But you pay up front, and that's 3 florins for that message to go through.
So the other option is that we do both to make sure if one message doesn't get through, the other one will.
The 60 pennies is negligible, isn't it? Really, it's the 3 florins. It's the big ask. So yeah, I think let's do both.
Yeah.
And as we're going into the evening, I'm just checking where, before we move on to the next day, are you sleeping now?
You've probably got to stay here.
I'll be staying in the Bastion, I suppose. Now that I don't have to worry about this book anymore.
I don't mind sticking around. We might as well stay together, especially if there's bad stuff going on in the Bastion.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Are we going to talk to Quartermaster Kal about what we saw, or are we going to keep it quiet between us?
It doesn't hurt to pop a message to him.
I think I'd like to talk to him direct rather than just pop him a message.
Well, so would I, but I'm also intending to get a cipher set up with him so I can send him messages back and forth.
The other thing to consider as well is these special items in the armory now that we could put to use. I mean, fingers crossed we never need to use any of them, but if we're going to allocate them, we may as well do so now rather than in a pinch when we're suddenly up against it.
Yep. Shall we do that and then...
So Damocles, do you fancy them all?
I was looking at that. It looks really nice, actually.
Actually.
I mean,
I think you could really sneak with it.
I could look. Well, I imagine, it hurts enough when someone gets hit with a hammer. If they're not expecting it, that's probably going to be worse, right?
Yeah, it's bound to be.
That mithril maul's probably about 35 florins worth of.
Oh, there we go. We could send loads
We
of
can
messages.
melt it.
That's plate armour for both of us.
If you
Mine
can
would
find
stay on the
one.
shelf, obviously, but
You
I'd like
could
to
probably sell it quite happily for about 8-9 florins.
Okay, that's most of plate armour for you. I weirdly was looking at that studded leather and shadowy cloak. I don't know, just to surprise anyone here.
There are
Weirdly
2 different
looking at
types of
belts.
studded leather. So one fell hide, So it's slightly better physical resistances. And the other one, fire resistant.
I still really like that belt though.
The Felhide
belt.
studded leather,
Good
so
belt.
it's still light armour, as in.
You only need to be proficient to wear the
Okay.
studded leather.
That's good.
Yeah, the one is
I'm slightly
identical to
restricted
studded
by-
leather, other than it's got the enchantment fire resistance.
I've
So
got
once
those.
you've attuned to it, 2 aura,
But
you
the
get
fact that
5
you're
fire
sort of
resistance.
stuck to a bastion.
Okay, and then the other one you said.
The Falhide one has 3 blunt, 2 piercing, 2 slashing.
Too
So
much.
slightly better.
Extra blunt, extra piercing.
Yeah.
So, which one do you want?
You choose.
I'm wondering actually if you've got the aura to use the fire enchantment one.
I have enough aura for one of them, I think. I can't wear them both at the same time.
No, I'm not saying that.
The Falhide studded doesn't require aura.
Oh, right.
The fire resistance one does though. That's 2. you
Yeah,
said.
because it's an enchantment on standard studded armor.
So you, I don't know if you can wear that now. Okay. Well, I probably ought to have that then. Much as I like the sound of that Felhide with the damage resistance, I do think you're slightly more on the front lines than me normally. So it makes sense for you to have the better quality damage resistance.
Okay. then.
Right, and I'll take that fire attunement one then. So that you said that gives me
5 fire resistance.
5 fire resistance, just when I'm attuned to it, just a standard.
Yes, so long as you're wearing the armor, 5 fire resistance.
And then it's studded leather, so is
it's
it?
identical to the one you're wearing.
I'm just wearing leather, I think, aren't I?
Oh, you're just wearing leather? In which
So I
case
thi- I
it's
think I
better
get
than the one you're wearing.
Yeah, I think we get an upgrade in that anyways. So,
Yeah. So yeah.
what's the stats on it?
Just getting that. So studded leather is 212. 2 blunt, 1 piercing, 2 slashing.
Oh, no, it's alright now.
It is the same. I thought you were on studded leather.
I didn't
Oh
know
no,
it
hang on.
was.
No, wrong one. Studded leather is 222.
Perfect. Now
I
we're
was looking
talking.
at leather then.
Right, give us the fire resistance. So I've spent 2 aura just by wearing this. Yeah, fine.
And then give yourself 5 fire resistance.
Oh yeah, I will. Thank you. And I hope people don't mind if I take that shadowy cloak thing. That's only good.
That's another 2 aura.
What does it do?
+2 to your hiding shadows skill.
Oh, nice.
I like it. Okay, so 4 aura in use. And shadow cloak. Hiding shadows. Oh, I'm back up to double digits. Lovely. Thank you.
So you're having the belt on the wall, presumably?
If everyone's okay with me having the belt on the wall.
I think that's probably the best place to go, yeah.
So Mithril Maul is +1 to attack, your skill. So +1 to attack and parries.
Nice.
It doesn't require aura, it's just a... but the healer's belt does require 2 aura to activate the enchantment. And I'm assuming you did this before you took a rest.
Europe.
So what is your charisma? +2?
Yes.
So you can recover 3 charges that you can split amongst all your charged items per rest.
Good.
So
So
you
the
can
belt.
put all 3 in. Your healer's belt now has 3 charges. Yeah, this way, if you've got a lot of items with a lot of charges and you burn through all the charges, it takes a long time for them all to come back. It uses your energy, as it were, to recharge itself.
There we go. 3 charges. And what's the max charges on it?
8. And each charge acts like you're using a charge from a healer's kit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
Considering the amount
really good.
I burnt through my healer's kits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll go for the whatever's left.
The
The spear
so-
and the.
There's the spear and the Falhide studded leather.
The Felhide was 3 to 2, was that?
It's 322. It should be more than 322. I think that's the wrong one. when I was doing it. 3, 2, so it would be 3, 3, 2.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I've added padded as an armour type. So of course, when I look across and I go 2 down, I'm still on leather, not studded leather.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then the short spear similarly, no achievement.
It's +1. It's a +1 weapon. Yeah, +1 to attack and parry. So you're looking a little bit better equipped, suitable for 4th level.
Like presents.
Yes. Excellent.
And it is now the 36th of Leonis. Breakfast is smelling fantastic as it's been cooked in the Bastion, and the acolytes over breakfast are looking to you for guidance that day.
Your favourite thing, socialising.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to delegate all of this. So you'll be in charge of housekeeping.
This is boring. You decide. I'm off.
And Robin gets to play with boards.
I will thank them all for their efforts the previous day. The Bastion is looking significantly improved from where it was previously. It was disappointing to see the state that it had been allowed to fall into. But the battlements, the armoury, the workshop, all are looking far better now, and we have your efforts to thank for that. I would ask that we continue to prepare the Bastion to get it to the standard that it should be. Today's efforts should be to continue on from yesterday, but also now that we are up and running, I think it's important for people of the town that they see that we are available now should they wish to come in and pay their respects. Now that the Bastion is in a state that allows that. So we will, if somebody could perhaps spread the word amongst the people of the town that the Bastion is now open again, should anybody need its services. Otherwise, I'll let you enjoy your breakfast, enjoy this brief rest before a busy day, and no doubt we will meet again at the next evening meal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the acolytes seem quite fired up by that, and yeah, more than happy to get to it.
So I'm going to actually bring Dawnstar and Bartholomew up because they can go backwards and forwards, and it also means I can go into town and go and speak to Quartermaster Kal.
Who's just across the road.
Who's just across the road, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a chat with him as well, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all pop over.
I should probably remain here in case any of the acolytes have any decisions that need to be made, any questions.
We've got paperwork to do.
I have an awful lot of, I need to have a look at this ledger and see what state there.
Yeah.
I'll just check in, before I disappear off to go and see Quartermaster, I will check in with Fira to make sure that how Katea is.
She reports back that Katea has remained in her comatose state. So they're mushing food to try and keep her fed, dripping water, but she has not changed. Completely comatose.
Okay. Go and see the Quartermaster. Are you coming down, please?
Oh yes.
Okay, so Gallad, you remain at the Bastion. Rhea and Gallad, you remain at the Bastion. Rhea and Damocles, you head over to Quartermaster Kal.
That's right.
Okay. You head over to Town Hall, and on coming in, it's early morning, so the Town Hall's pretty much empty right now. The reception staff, the lady behind the desk looks up and, good morning, how can I help you?
Oh, we need to speak to Quartermaster Kal, please.
I will see if he's in.
Thank you.
And raps on the door just behind her. There is you can send them in, and she comes out. He's ready for you now.
Thank you very much.
He just knew.
And you enter the immaculate office of Quartermaster Kal once more. His bald head freshly waxed that morning.
Ooh.
Listening. Still looks odd having no tattoos on it, but each to their own. He motions to the two chairs he now has in front of his desk. Oh, would you like to take seats?
Yeah.
Close the door behind you, please, sir. Damocles.
He knew how many cheese.
Right, close the door.
Sorry. Dowsy's a little bit in awe of this guy because he just knows everything. Right. Right. Close it.
How can I help?
Well, just want to report that we have seen another one of these purple harbingers.
Oh. At this moment, he quickly reaches beneath his desk, pulls out a couple of parchments. You can already see part of the notes he's taken before, and you know he has had these notes. Again, using tri-cipher, because you just can't comprehend what he's writing. Please describe everything as it happened.
So, unfortunately, it was just myself and Katea that saw it. It was within her room.
Within the Bastion?
Yes. Before the wards were back up.
Ah.
I entered to try and see what we could do to help Katea. She was in a bit of a state, I think is the best way to describe it. And I was trying to calm her when I saw this, I could only call it a rip in the fabric of reality. And again, could see beyond to what appeared to be myriads of stars and one of these purple harbingers. I turned away for a moment to try and make sure that Katea was okay, and it was gone. That was when I sent for Galad and Damocles to come to the Bastion, as it was really evident that we needed to get it operational as fast as possible. But one of the other things was that Katea appeared to be having visions, or at least had said that she'd had a vision of the Bastion being swarmed by orcs, by creatures attacking, and that she saw it fall. Now, I've seen Bastion stand against hordes of orcs. We're getting this Bastion back to how it should be. We're trying to make sure it's right. All I hope is that this is something that will not come to pass because of what we're trying to do. But it is a concern.
I agree. Report if this happens again. The wards are now active from what I understand.
Yes.
I saw Galad complete the rituals. It is about time someone seriously took charge of that Bastion. I have had my concerns for many, many years. However, he says, there is something more concerning. Kind of smiles. I thought you would have something to report this morning. Gave you odds, around 9 out of 10, that you would be here. I'm glad my odds worked out because a report came across the watch's desk. I had one of my people intercept it and pull it from the watch. I'm dealing with it now. However, this has been cited in Swanton. He pushes a small piece of paper across to you. There's a symbol written on the paper, a symbol that sends a shiver straight through you.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's a symbol that's on the book. This has been etched into a door frame on one of the houses in Swanton. I've told the watch to keep the place clear for now. The area is I wouldn't say abandoned, but it's a place that doesn't have much traffic. There's a couple of houses that are inhabited, but they are typically vagrant farmhands that come in and out of the region. Let's put it like this, the buildings are not owned by anyone in particular, but they're used by whoever comes through. I need this investigated, and you're the only people I can trust right now. Can you deal with this this morning?
Yeah, we can.
Look, yeah, absolutely.
This ceremony has to go without a hitch, and if something's happening in Swanton, I don't want it bubbling behind the scenes and then hitting us when we least expect it.
Player
we need to
question.
leave this head on.
Player question.
Yeah.
We did tell him about the symbol in the book, right? Good. Thank you.
You didn't show him the book?
No.
Nope. because
And you haven't shown him the symbol,
no.
but he has seen this, and he has pushed it to you, and he hasn't explained why. But your reactions have probably already told him enough.
Anybody with any that we recognise the symbol.
I got a +10 in bluff. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't ask what I meant. That was probably a good.
I haven't.
I'm just like, yeah, just.
And if you remember, I think Xander had enough, or was it you, Gallad, with your history? You managed to gain enough information to kind of understand what the symbol represented. Someone like the Quartermaster, who you already know seems to have a keen knowledge of eldritch creatures, probably would have known the origin of this symbol. And with everything that's been happening,
So all this is connected, basically.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean. Okay.
it was a small etching, could have easily gone unnoticed by a fairly non-observant watchman, but the person who spotted it considered it unusual enough to report through his command.
Okay.
A name so we can at least have a chat with him, maybe.
You're to not connect with the watch at all in this matter.
Oh,
Completely freelance.
okay.
And this is off the books of the Freelancers Guild
So,
as well.
yeah,
But I
no.
will let Master Esley know that you're on loan currently, and all your rights of the guild will transfer accordingly.
Okay.
Your payment will come through the mayor for this.
Right.
Can we agree? He has a nod. Investigate, see if there is anything untoward. If it is nothing for us to worry about, shall we call it 9 florins for your time? If there is something that needs to be dealt with and you deal with it, 18 florins. Either way, report back to me.
I think we can make that work.
I think that's fine. Okay. I don't know what use I'll be, but let's go and investigate. I'll keep watch.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hang on. So he said if there's something to be dealt with, which means there could be, probably want to loop in our caretaker on this.
Naturally.
Before we go, I'll just speak to him and say, I know obviously this will be child's play to yourself, but I would like to secure our messages in a manner that I can understand. I have some experience with cryptographic messaging, and I'll give him a key word to unlock a secure messaging system between us. Just in case.
You two have a bit of a conversation at this point, which is completely over your head, discussing which one to use, what sub-cipher to use, and so forth. And once you agreed, he just quite writes literally one symbol as a note.
Perfect.
And says, I think that is a sensible measure.
Excellent.
Consider our encryption agreed, and we will write our notes to each other in such a manner.
Okay.
So, you've now
What just
agreed,
happened?
using your infiltrator's cryptography,
Yeah.
you have agreed a cipher to be used between you and...
Yes,
Cal.
that's right. Yeah. Perfect. Just
Right, for other
Secure
people who
message.
agreed that the cipher,
Yeah.
normally it's so they can decipher your messages, but they will struggle to write a message with the cryptography.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so you can write a secret message, they can understand it, but they can't really
but
reciprocate.
obviously, Cal will have no
He
trouble.
will have no problems reciprocating the cipher to you.
That's useful. Good. Does he also get the thing where we can communicate orally in a
Please can't.
Yeah.
You don't know? You're going to try?
Oh, I mean, almost certainly he's going to, but I'll give it a go. Yeah. I'll just sort of give him a couple of test phrases to see how easily he communicates back to me. I'd be astonished if he doesn't.
He doesn't respond.
Oh, okay. Interesting to know.
He doesn't want you to know that he
Yeah, I was thinking that. It's like he does know, and he's probably got this little smirk, like this little jumps up thief.
No, just over his head, doesn't understand it.
Wow.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that. Damocles.
Just setting up a secure communication method.
That's cool.
As you're leaving, he stresses again, look, As far as the watch is concerned, this is nothing to worry about. I do not want them knowing that I've taken this seriously and that you're investigating. If anybody stops you, just say you're doing an inspection of the on behalf of the mayor.
In fact, we can start by the active defences and sort of work so it looks.
Make it look legit.
Yeah, we can sort this out.
Absolutely.
And we'll bypass the Bastion and fill in Gallard at the same time.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Just in case we need any books read.
Okay.
And I take it with that you head over to the Bastion.